Okay, so here we are. So we have made the pyramid of numbers that we had in our snap cubes. And remember, the numbers went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So, and what was the pattern with the numbers on the ends?
Well, they were the squares.
They were the squares. So if those are the squares, and we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17 browns. If these last numbers are the squares, we should be able to make squares out of them.
Yeah.
Okay? So start with the first one. How do you make a square out of 1?
Well, you just take 1 and that's a square.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can move these blocks out of the way. How do you make a square out of 1 plus 3?
Well, you add the 1 plus 3 together to be 4.
Aha. Interesting. Okay. How do you make a square out of 1 plus 3 plus 5? What are you going to do?
You keep adding layers.
How do you make a square out of 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7?
You add another layer.
How do you make a square out of 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9?
Yeah, another layer.
So what are you noticing is happening here?
The layers, they're stacking up to form these. And if we sort of...
So what is this telling us? What is this special square telling us about numbers?
If you stack the numbers up, if you use all the numbers in the sequence, they'll become a square. You become squares.
All right. What numbers are in this sequence?
Well, you have the odd numbers. If you stack all the odd numbers on top of each other, they'll become an infinitely large square.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So when you take the odd numbers starting from 1,
3,
and stack them together in this very interesting way, you get
a square.
square. So the odd numbers add up to be squares.
Cool.
And it's not so easy to see just when you have the numbers,
Yeah.
but it is kind of interesting to see it geometrically. Because they fit together pretty well, don't they? To make squares.
Yeah. Unless you just stop in the middle of a layer.
Unless you stop in the middle of a layer. So here's a very interesting geometry proof that the odd numbers
Add up to be a square.
add up to give you squares. And that's just what we saw. But when they were arranged in that sort of pyramid pattern, it wasn't so easy to see that you got a square. But when they're arranged this way,
It's very easy.
it's very easy to see you got a square. All right. Good job, hon.